Right. So we've got David and we've got different scenarios. We're going to retire and claim Social Security at 62, or we're already retired. So we're going to claim Social Security at 62, we're going to claim at 67, and we're going to claim at 70. So let's go through each of these. We're going to start with 62. So here we go. So David is 57 years and 11 months. He is retired. So we're going to put him down as retired. So he is done working. So at 62, David's going to get a gross monthly benefit of $1,190. That's only 70% of his full retirement benefit. So we're going to claim at 62 and we're going to get a lesser amount for doing that. Now let's look at the assets. So he has a couple different asset accounts. He's got $1.7 million in an individual brokerage account. He's got $150,000 in another individual brokerage account. He's got $70,000 in a simple IRA and $130,000 in a Roth IRA. So that gives him a total of $2,050,000 in retirement assets. Now I mentioned before, he sold his business, which gave him this large lump sum of money. So we're going to get this lump sum of money and we need to use it for retirement. So, does claiming Social Security at 62 make the most sense? Well, let's keep going. So we look at expenses. Now his expenses are $7,500 per month. So $7,500, let's multiply that by 12. That's $90,000 a year. So he has $90,000 in expenses right now, and he is retired, and we're going to give that a 3.24 inflation rate. So every year, that's going to go up by 3.24%. Cash flows. This is where we're able to add in any cash flows like travel, healthcare, whatever. So for him, the biggest thing is health insurance, and that's really what he wants to add in. So for David, from May of 2022 to June of 2029, when he goes on Medicare, we need to add in healthcare of $700 per month. Now that's going to fluctuate obviously with healthcare costs from the exchange based on inflation, depending on the plan you choose, whether you choose bronze, silver, gold, platinum, whatever. But this gives us a good idea of where he's at today. Now we can get his income lower because he has non-qualified assets, which means income that's not reportable. So we may be able to get a subsidy to help with healthcare. But again, I'm going to shoot high, okay, and hope it comes out lower. But we'd rather plan on up here than plan down here and it actually come in higher than we expected. So health insurance is $700 per month. So we got to look at retirement. We say, okay, we've got $2,050,000 in spendable assets. We have a house that's worth $675,000. When will we run out of money? Well, we're taking Social Security at 62, $1,190. Remember, we've got our net monthly expenses here. Now, we do monthly expenses differently. So we're not looking at inflation on an annual basis. We're looking at inflation on a monthly basis. So for him, all right, his monthly cash flow would be $8,400, an annual cash flow for health insurance. His net monthly expenses, $93,291 because of inflation. So our net negative monthly cash flow is $103,000. Now, in order to do this, we've got federal gross income of $112,077. That's the income coming out. All right, now, we look at this, and from 2022 to 2023, it continues to grow. There's Social Security at 62, and if you look, based on his expenses at 85 years old, so where we had picked the mortality on Social Security, he's out of spendable assets. Now, he still has Social Security, he still has his house, and obviously you can see it's at 675. What we can do is we can go back to assets, and we can say, okay, hey David, how much is your house going to appreciate, do you think, over the long term? Oops, that's the wrong place. Go down here to portfolio weighted average, and I can say, well, let's just give it let's go 1.5%. Let's just say your house is going to appreciate at 1.5%. Now we can go back to 85, and he would have no more liquid spendable assets. He'd still be getting Social Security, but but his house would be worth $1,021,000. So obviously he could do a reverse mortgage. He could sell the house somewhere up here, single guy. He could sell the house and move. It just depends on where life takes him. So what I'm trying to do is just build the foundation of where he's at today and where do we want to go. We're not trying to say, hey, in the future, this is what it's going to look like. There's going to be flying cars and you're going to have a robot that's going to make you dinner. No, we're looking at, hey, where are we at today? What can we assume based on historical market returns? What can we assume based on historical inflation? Doesn't make sense to take Social Security at 62. All right, so let's see if it makes a difference to take Social Security at 67. So 62 is early, 67 is full retirement age. All else being the same, let's go back to assets. Let's add in the 1.5% increase for his house. And let's go back to retirement. So remember, same amount. Now, because we take Social Security at 67, here's that $1,700. That's his full retirement age. Remember, we were running out at 85 when we took it at 62. Now, it's 86. So we got an extra year by taking Social Security a year later. All right, so we delayed Social Security by 4 years and we got 1 extra year of retirement income. Again, here's our house. Our spendable assets are gone, but we still have Social Security and we still have our house where we can do a reverse mortgage. We can sell it. We can do something else. Okay, now let's go to 70. Let's look at taking Social Security at 70. All is still the same. We're going to give our house, we're going to update our house to 1.5% growth. Oh, it's 1% there, so we're going to do 1.5%. And we're going to look at retirement. Now, we've waited to claim Social Security to 70, 124% of our full retirement benefit. So here we go, 70, 2108. That's when it's kicking on. 124% of our full retirement benefit. Again, we're out at 86. No more spendable assets, but we still have our house. Again, reverse mortgage, we can sell it. So what's going on here? We're out at 85 at 62. We're out of 86 with taking Social Security at 67 and 70. What's going on? Does it really matter in this case when you take Social Security? No, it doesn't. And the point of this video is not to give you the exact time when you need to take Social Security. The point of this video is to say, we need to make some adjustments to David so that when he does take Social Security, his retirement income is going to last for his entire life. So it's not necessarily just Social Security that we need to have a plan for. It's also his expenses, how he's invested, and how the investments are, what the rate of return is for those investments. So for David, using 70 as an example, we need to go back up here and go, hey, Dave, your expenses are $7,500 a month. Is there any way that you can bring those down? So if he brought those down $1,000 a month, what if I was able to say, hey, Dave, if you cut your expenses by $1,000 per month to $6,500, your money's going to last to 94. Feel a little bit better about that, 86 to 94. So taking out $12,000 in expenses per year, which can be done, keep in mind, it can be done if you're willing to do it. Now his retirement income lasts to 94, claiming Social Security at 70. So we can go back now and look at 67 and 62, adjust the expenses and say, okay, Dave, doing that, this is how long that money's going to last. And we can actually hone in on a personalized date for him to claim Social Security. It's the same for you. It doesn't need to be just a article in Barron's that tells you to claim at 70, or an article in Forbes, or an article in the Wall Street Journal, or your neighbor who says, don't take Social Security till 70. It needs to be a personalized plan so you know exactly when you're gonna claim. It sounds like you need an EKG. All right, well, hey, thank you so much for watching. If you want to get in touch with us, all the information is below. Have a very blessed day. Bye-bye.